by the end of the day, but I'm honored to be here for the next 10 to 12 minutes at the most. And the area that I would be talking on is on sustainability in the supply chain. And what does it mean in the context of supply chain, the sustainability? When we hear the term sustainability, generally the picture of a man that comes to our mind is a Norwegian Prime Minister, Mr. Blankland, who defines sustainable development as the development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their need in the future. Sounds so simple, as if it's so easily achievable. But the reality is different, as you could see at the back. The world has been struggling and sweating to make a way ahead in a real sense when it comes to sustainability. Over the past 27 years, I live in a country which is surrounded by tiny Pacific nations. For them, it's not the question of minimizing the uses of resources or recovering the value at the end of the product life cycle. For them, environmental sustainability is a question of their survival. So is the case for Maldives and Bangladesh. Think about a situation when we used to produce majority of our product and services and consumed by ourselves within our own economy, which the economists used to term self-sustained economy. That is no longer the case. In the name of the competitiveness, we started applying the term called core competency. The newly found business environment with globalization and the application of information technology, our world has shrunk, became more open and transparent, and a place for outsourcing to maximize the economic benefits. Think about the product on the slide, a winter jacket. May I ask the question, where was it made in? You may say, what a lousy question. Everybody knows where was it made in. It's likely in China, if not in Bangladesh, or in Vietnam. Last week I was in Shanghai, went to a few global retailers like Zara, Pull and Bear. Majority of the products in those global retail outlets that I have seen are either made in Bangladesh or China. So other products in those retail stores, including the jacket on the slide, are really made in Bangladesh or China? Absolutely not. It was produced by many countries. Wool and the fur comes from Australia, zipper from Japan, liner from China, shell and the flakes from Taiwan, snapper, fastener comes from Germany. The jacket was simply assembled in Bangladesh. So it's a global product. Globalization has given the opportunity to produce global products and services. Similarly, the tennis ball, a true global product produced by 14 different nations and travel around the globe for about 52,000 miles before it comes into the grip of Andy Murray at the Wimbledon. It still makes economic sense. However, the carbon emission is extremely high and hence the carbon footprint. Does it have to be a zero-sum game all the time? Meaning when we have economic benefit, do we have to sacrifice the environment? Can't it be win-win? That's where the challenge lies. Sustainability is not carbon emission and economic sustainability only. Yes, Bangladesh is the second largest producer of the ready-made garments. Yes, the nation earns about $25 billion a year. However, what is the human cost? What happened in 2013? More than 1,300 workers died at the collapse of Rana Plaza. Human cost is huge. So now we have the accord and the alliance, policies and the regulations. Therefore, we must look beyond economic and environmental sustainability. And that is what we call as a social sustainability, meaning being the producer of ethical clothes. Let me share with you some of the findings of our own research. Over the last 5 years, we have research on socially responsible governance mechanism in apparel supply chain in the context of Australia and Bangladesh. We found a clear mismatch between the expectation of the Australian buyers and the Bangladeshi producers. Buyers emphasize on the child labor, environmental management system, health and safety standard, and the formal evaluation process in validating the socially responsible supply chain issues. Whereas supplier emphasize on the quality, price, lead time, delivery time. We must not forget that the buyers or retailers cannot be sustainable if their suppliers aren't. So working together is the only solution to achieve sustainability. In another study, we investigated the LEED Platinum certified farms within the garments industry and non-LEED farms and found that stringent environmental requirements from the European buyer can be more efficiently and effectively handled by the LEED Platinum farms compared to the non-LEED farms. So how do we achieve win, win, and win? I'm pretty sure that all of you know and remember Thomas Malthus, an English social scientist. What did he say? He says, and I quote, "Population, when unchecked, increases in a geometric ratio. Subsistence increases only in an arithmetic ratio." So the resources are finite and needs to be carefully husbanded, unquote. Has that happened to the mankind? The answer is no. So here comes the Nobel laureate, Robert Solow, with the answer. He states that, I quote, "If it is easy to substitute other factors for natural resources, then there is, in principle, no problem. The world can, in effect, get along without the natural resources, so exhaustion is just an event, not a catastrophe. Problems can be resolved through the exercise of the human ingenuity, in other words, through innovation. Not just ordinary innovation, has to be deal with the disruptive innovation such as the 3D printing in the production, distribution, and consumption. Therefore, in the entire logistics and supply chain, the businesses must turn supply chain in a value chain, value in terms of economic, social, and the environmental. Let us look back into the history. Do we remember the Greek history of the Trojan horse? What happened? It was a sneaky wooden contraption that allowed the Greeks to put an end to the 10-year-old Trojan War. For them, the Greeks had, for 10 years, the Greeks had been trying without success to break through the high walls of the city of Troy. So Trojan horse was an innovation. But we don't want war. We want peace and prosperity through innovation. We know the route that Vasco da Gama took to India. It was from north to south, and then passing the Cape of Good Hope with a very high hope to the north again. What a waste of resources, time, and carbon emission. The Suez Canal became the solution. So is the Panama Canal. And now the Russians are looking for an opportunity through the Northern Sea. And in the recent initiative, the Chinese government called OBOR. These are all mega supply chain projects. If implemented with trust and keeping human dignity in mind, this can bring economic growth and sustainability. A big win and win. Let us concentrate on our own backyard. Why does a product have to travel through the narrow strip, what we call the chicken neck, to the Seven Sisters? Why can't make it through a shortcut route? European nations and the people who fought continuous wars for centuries are now most efficiently connected region in the world. If Europeans can, so can we in the Indo-Pacific. Connecting ourselves to the Indo-Pacific for achieving economic prosperity, social norms, and environmentally friendlier living environment, and that is achieving the triple bottom line, and that is what I call the sustainability. Thank you very much.